Alright, so begin linear tourney and then truth.
I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to
So
the
this is
bottom
like a
of the case
recap.
I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also
The
see this
truth.
as a happy
Content
coincidence.
can be solved over the years, and Vashir kidnapped so many girls. And for experiment, to try to find way to bring us back.
This is
His
the
wife back.
first time Monsieur Nervillet had a difference of opinion with the Oratries. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out.
This part, yeah, I forgot about this part. That child, the reason why child got to the Fortress of Merpete because he was convicted guilty for some reason. Meeting with
The
Naeus,
truly
the
Harbinger.
knave.
She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The Fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in
Okay, this
according to
one.
Monsieur Nervillet. Both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial
Yeah,
sea
okay,
at that
I know
time.
that, I know that.
nearly lost my awesome friend. The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly.
Okay, I mind that.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Okay, let's trial begin.
Oh, come on, Nervilette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese.
Okay, let the trial begin.
Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't
doesn't
even
have
been
to be like that.
informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
I guess it's not really a crime.
That's
Just
true. But my
Oh.
charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon.
Ether finally getting a voice. Oh, it's been so long since I've heard Zach voice.
Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Ooh, that's a bold claim, Traveler. I don't think that'll hold.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking her duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Ooh, she's not like actively denying.
Farina,
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine,
Yeah, I don't think
a
they won't do
member
that.
of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
That sounds all so fancy.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that
I
prosecutor
like this
have to
soundtrack.
make
It's the main
such a
OS
huge claim?
soundtrack. Yeah, it is a
have
huge
cause
claim
to
for Traveler.
believe
I don't think
common
it's gonna
sense
hold.
will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratries has decided to show me its favor.
We
Are
haven't
you sure you want to
hold
commit
the
to a charge
evidence
that
yet
shall
again.
never be
Again,
upheld?
so we'll see.
If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
People only see you as their Archon because that's their long-held
Well,
belief.
I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
Well, it could be just the oceanite, maybe? I got to think carefully. What do we know special about Fern exactly? What is it? Civilization probably. Yeah. Oh, that is correct. Oh yeah, this too probably is a. Yeah, it's probably the meeting with the knave that she does not have a gnosis, but do common people know that Archon have gnosis?
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse, which is the curse of immortality from Kandria.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
It doesn't matter who gave us the information. What matters is the veracity of the claim.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Neverlet sensed it too, huh?
So for now, instead of an Archon, you just be passed as a curious human? Ooh, curse of immortality maybe? Is she a Kandria? Is she a Kandrian person? Ooh, that'll be insane if that was the case.
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Okay, we get the evidence down. What's your contact point?
Don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
But again, oh, what exactly the Oratrice does, right? Yeah, through child conviction.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Decisions should be given regardless.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the
That's
court.
true. No, she's kind of forced to speak now.
I never thought.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day, but the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created.
So does that mean it wasn't from you?
You can't You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds
That is
of
an
excuses.
excuse, but it is a good one.
Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Orcus.
Sure, we can put the artist aside for now, but then Miss Frina could give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon.
My power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens
Come on,
in the
just show one.
audience. How can
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
you don't need to go that far.
A brief demonstration of your power over Hydro should be quite harmless. Surely an Archon could at least match the capacity of human with a vision. Yeah, surely you can just throw some water out of somewhere. You cannot even do that.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of
Come on,
Indemnitium!
no more excuses
all
again.
Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium! Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Nah, that's more like stupid.
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up
Yeah,
all their
usually
power?
they get
Can a
half of
god
their
with no
power.
power even still be called a god?
Exactly.
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
That's good.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me, please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they died and there's no predecessor of it? Could be the reason.
If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument.
That's more like an excuse, not an argument.
Now.
If we can prove that she isn't the Archon, we can try to prove that she is just a human. And she's only human. That's just that's not it. I don't know what to pick with this one. Is it this one? The truth? Is it the water
It
dissolving?
has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere
Yeah,
to proper
you cannot
procedure.
speak here.
Super sorry, Mr. Chief Justice. I swear this really will
Oh,
be the last
she did
time that I'll
talk
speak out of turn.
outside of being like interrupt the court earlier though in the previous quest.
Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago. Including the... So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has—
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
I guess I'm guessing nothing would happen and they would show up. Farina?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
I think that would just disprove everything.
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina.
Hey!
She actually...
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon!
Yeah,
I'm
see?
nothing like a normal
Unexpected.
human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
She really is the Archon, she just doesn't do what an Archon is supposed to do.
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward.
Siegewin?
Don't be nervous. It'll just take a... That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your...
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans
Oh, no.
when exposed to primordial seawater.
I
of a
guess I
similar
was wrong.
concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin. Lady Farina...
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
It's not a huge concentration, maybe?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely
So that's why
unexpected might
Fremenate
occur,
didn't get dissolved.
we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... You...
Oh? I guess it's decided then? What's really going on here? Fremenate can have not known the consequence of touching that water as a human. This is too unlike how she should act, unless it's actually more important for her to cap the facade to save her own life. But hadn't she given up on everything a long time ago?
Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks! What happened just now didn't prove a single thing! Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater?
Yeah, that is true.
Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Yeah, I don't think a normal human would.
Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
Is this the prophecy? This either Archon whipping on the throne because he's being trialed of being not an Archon?
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
Must be something for now, man. You don't have anything?
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone who's too stacked against her now.
Oh, what's this?
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Furina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Furina is guilty.
Is this all just a dream also? Oh no, it is. Yeah, is this the
We
prophecy?
shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse.
Is it gonna be not guilty again?
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Furina is
Not guilty.
Well, what's wrong?
Did the artist just declare Furina to be innocent?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: the Hydro Archon, guilty.
What? That doesn't make sense. Huh. Wait, huh? I don't get Hydro Archon, but the point is being proven here is that she's not the Hydro Archon.
To be punished via the death sentence.
What?
The death sentence?
Okay, the Oratrice must be insane.
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Furina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth.
Well, that escalated quickly, yeah.
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah, even Vacher wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
What's more strange is, instead of Furina, the Oratrice's judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. Not only is Furina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Furina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place.
Maybe the Oratrice is connected to Celestia, and then the sentence is actually about the previous Hydro Archon. That's why she died.
But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon.
Huh.
Excuse me, if I may interrupt.
Remini, what do you have to say?
The trial still go?
Remini, you finally made it.
Mm-hmm.
With some help from the effective Stone Slate. Oh, is that the last Stone Slate?
Prophecy slate?
Oh, you did find it. Huh, from what I'm seeing is that the Jeria made the people of Fontaine?
Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Remini to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea.
Oh, for a minute, it's been super
It
helpful.
took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no. Father will be disappointed in me.
Don't worry, the mystery hasn't been resolved yet. It's still not too late for you to shine.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates.
Yeah, let's see.
So what do you see?
This looks like previous Hierarchon releasing her divine power, turning the Oceanite into a human
I
thing.
believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Oh, she made the people out of Oceanite? So, and that is a crime against the Heavenly Principle? So that the Heavenly Principles sentence Ageria to death from that? Is that how I get it?
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's so when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
An association between the contents of the slate and the events in real life.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Okay, select the check description on the stone slate to extract information from them. You can find scenarios related to the stone slate content in the incidents recorded in the interview notebook. There, you can verify said content. As the verification process continues, the Fontaine will level in the menu interface. Rise. Finish verifying all the stone slate. Oh, okay. We just trying to order it in the correct order.
Stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
Yeah, I remember back in the Klee event, the NPC there was all Oceanids and they're taking up human forms. And they say Oceanids can turn into many forms as any form they like.